So I've heard myself say to a few people, like a few dozen people lately, that marketing this year, maybe it's always been like this. It feels like being trapped in a glass jar with the lid screwed on and screaming, just nobody hears you. And has that always been this hard? It seems like it's always been the hardest thing for me, and really in any business that I've ever had, it's like the biggest black hole is marketing. So we're going to learn together. Here's a shocker, given what I've just said. We 50x'd our YouTube subscriber count in the last 4 weeks. And so how we got there and some other thoughts about reaching people, real people, is what I want to talk about today in our episode called Backdoor Marketing. Oh, by the way, now don't go looking at my panel statistics, or go ahead and look. But if you do, you're going to realize that the fact that we 50x'd our YouTube subscriber count means that we started 4 weeks ago with 4 subscribers, and that is true. We had an 8-month-old channel with 4 subscribers, so we're going to talk about, well, it's technically a 50x increase, and we're going to talk about how that happened. So anyway, in 2026, it feels like the door is bolted against you. Like you're not allowed to talk to anybody about anything for any reason, because God forbid you should be selling something or trying to make a living, because everything is spam and everybody's selling something, so nobody wants to hear your pitch. And so I would just like to ask you for one little tiny favor to take home today and maybe put into motion this week, and that's just stop gatekeeping. If somebody that you know is trying to start a business or wants to do a pitch with you, just let them talk, and maybe they'll do the same favor for you. Just let them in your door and walk through theirs, and let's start socializing again and not be so like closed off. I don't know if that's just a USA thing, but I'm really feeling it right now. Anyway, with that and a heartfelt admission that I'm not a marketing guru, let's get into backdoor marketing. Hey, so let me start by saying that the things that I'm seeing in the world right now are making me kind of step away from trying to reach my customer and sort of lean into just being helpful about the things that they would be interested in and just offering a hand any way that I can. So I guess I'm building a community because I've seen that what I've tried is not working. And so that's why we're here, and that's why I'm going to tell you what do I mean by backdoor marketing. So here's an analogy. Imagine your typical religious door knocker. They come knocking and you hide. You don't know them. You don't trust them. It's the same feeling when you're trying to get somebody to pay attention to your business. There's so many of us and we're all knocking, and now we're doing it with AI and automation. And so that's why it feels like it's so much. It's just so much. So that's the front door. The front door is cold calling, automated spam, spray and pray. No, pray and spray and pray. Yeah, and so in 2026, more than before, and it was already pretty bad before, that door's sort of been bricked over. So remember Happy Days? Remember how the Fonz and Chachi never had to knock on the door? They just walked right in the back door. So, the kitchen door, whenever they wanted. So they had a backdoor access because of trust. And so I was going to use Friends as an analogy, as a more modern, though still ancient analogy, but they didn't have a backdoor. So that's what we're trying to get to, is that trust so that people let you in. I got an email the other day that this SEO guy who has selling, like trying to help me up my YouTube subscriber count or something like that. And so he got to know our channel before he reached out. And he reached out with drawings, specific problems, and sort of showed me how he'd fix them. And he didn't just write that usual template where he had visited, I visited your website and you're ugly and everything you do is stupid and everything I do is terrible and that he can rescue me. So it wasn't like that. It was like he actually didn't just copy and paste a message or send out an automation. He actually learned about my site and he actually gained my trust because it seemed like it could really help me. And so he came in the back door, and I'm probably going to work with him. He's got such a higher chance of working with me because he offered to help, but really help, like he learned my business. So I promised I was going to talk to you about how we 50x subscribers on this channel, the BuildRunKit channel. Can you believe our channel was 8 months old and we only had 4 subscribers? We sure had a lot of content, but we didn't really try to get anybody to sign up. So we were building in public, and by that I mean, we're developing our product and we have a little email that goes out every week and we sort of post on Reddit about it or whatever, but we didn't talk to our future customers enough. We should, but partially because everybody gets so mad at you when you talk to them. It's just frustrating. So we should have built the community, though, a little bit beyond a 25-member email list like 8 months ago, and we sort of did, but we didn't have much to talk about. So we didn't have to wait until we shipped the product to start talking. I could have been solving problems, any problems that people with my ICP, which is marketing speak for ideal customer persona, any problems that they're having, just building trust. Instead, we just kept talking about this product that was in development. We could have done both. Now I'm building a community. My door is open. Knock on it. My email address, the real one, is in my channel settings. So, email it. I'll answer. I'll help you with anything. I'm really serious about that. I don't know if that'll change in the future when I have 200 million customers and I'm on my yacht, so I don't have time. But for right now, I really am feeling spacious and I really want to help. And it's not just about getting subscribers in the door. I want to be sort of that helpful person for you. And so hopefully you see me that way. So anyway, I digress. Like this thing about getting to 200 subs, it was like an analog hustle. Getting to 200 subs on YouTube was like for us wasn't an algorithm hack or some sort of crazy stunt. It was just 3 people harassing everyone I knew. If 3 people can do this, imagine if your company's 6 people or 9 people. It beats thousands in ad spend. Because if we really did the math about how much it costs to acquire a subscriber through advertising, well, it sort of depends on how good you are at it, but it could be anywhere from a few dollars to $50, or depending, what kind of subscriber and what kind of channel you have. Especially in more, if you don't know if you're sort of bumbling around as I am and you don't know what you're doing. So I didn't know what to do, like the traditional way. So I just had to stick to what I know, be annoying. And I didn't want 100 or 200 subscribers as a flex. It's a trust signal. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But I needed those subscribers for a reason. So here's what I did. What I'm going to do with you right now, except I did it via email, chat, WhatsApp, personal post, anything to break through.
Like and subscribe. Do it now. He's gonna know. Shh. Here he comes.
Anyway, so a minute ago I mentioned trust signals. Okay, so since I mentioned trust signals, let's talk looks versus substance. It's important to be real and good at everything that you do, of course, but believe it or not, the window dressing is just as important. You have to look like you're open for business. So let's look at the story of 2 companies, mine, BuildRunKit, and Venture Z. They're my competitor, and I wish them well. But the first thing that I do when I'm going to do business with somebody or I'm thinking of using a product or whatever is I look the company up online. and I see if, if it's real. So let's do that. I'm gonna put my company, like my channels and socials on the screen next to Venture Z. So got some YouTube content, good. Uh, I mean, 4 months ago might as well be 2011. Did they go out of business? And so now you see why, like one of the reasons why I have such a lot of content. And but what they have is honestly, it's a good start. It's enough so that we see that they made an effort. So do you remember in the 1980s when generic products were black and white? Um, why did that just pop into my mind? Okay, so let's move on to Facebook. Yeah, they're there and they're posting a lot. That is a trust signal. So we're there too. But is that where our customers are? Maybe so. Let's see. Our same ICP is Founder, so I feel like I know this demo. And these are people with a business. And these are people trying to reach out to other people with a business. So where are you going to find them? Facebook? Maybe not. LinkedIn? Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's compare those two. Okay. Great. Okay, so let's compare LinkedIn's. Here's mine. Let's go find theirs. Venture Z. Well, that seems to be a name that's used a lot. And I'm not even sure. I see this Venture Z here, but I know that I'm looking for venturez.co. I don't think they even have a LinkedIn page. Do you see one? I'm not seeing it. So, so that's a big, like, missed opportunity to have a good trust signal in place. Anyway, so enough about brand X. I do want to say they're doing something much better than I am, but I'm not going to tell you which things. So another one of those trust signals, I know I just like lost a little trust there myself, right? So another one of those trust signals is that's really up for grabs this year is authenticity over automation. Look, my AI is always going to work harder than your AI. So everybody's got an agent that can spray post and harass people to a nub. So if you try to out robot those robots, it's not going to work. You'll lose. So just be you, circa 2019, like just a real person. And for God's sake, build a community of people that want to join you, that want to hear what you have to say. AI is not going to beat you at that yet. And so for God's sake, build a community that people want to join. And that's exactly what I'm doing in part with this podcast. So I hope you'll always join me here. I'm thinking of doing a video about setting up your online presence. So that would include all the things that you need to do, all the things we just talked about, and the things that you need to set up way before you start operating your business or ready to launch or whatever. And so I'm just going to pause here for a minute and give you a chance to, again, like and subscribe, and also put a comment about what you think of that idea. Like, is it a good idea to do a video about that? As a founder, do you think you need help with all of those things just to have an easy checklist to go check off and set up your socials and all of your other trust signals? So let's take a pause. Okay, so I think we should talk about some more specific topics or like backdoor hacks. Remember, we're trying to get personal here and we want to gain trust. So one thing I've thought of lately, and this goes into not having a huge marketing budget too, is just pick a zip code and just hammer it to hell. And hopefully, I spent most of the time in Puebla, Mexico, so I don't really have the luxury of just literally pounding the pavement, at least in the US. But pick a zip code and make the whole zip code know you. So go analog, get yellow pages, go to the local Google ads, physically knock on doors, whatever you have to do to actually meet people face to face. It's so much cheaper in 2026 than renting customers from big platforms. And so if like let's take an analogy, like say you have some sort of a product that um, that dog grooming salons can use. Maybe they're not your only demo, but that's someone. So 20 years ago, it wouldn't have even been a second thought. Like we would have just gone and looked for those types of businesses, knocked on doors and talked to people. That's what we need to come back to now. And you want to know why? It's because we need to just all embark on a campaign of knowing your customers. Let's call it the Know Your Customers campaign. I know the banks already have locked that one down, but we need to do it too. We need to get info, and you ask for that info every goddamn time. Because the thing about the way that we're doing things right now and the way that we're reaching people is that we're renting our customers. If you can't email them, you don't own them. If you don't have their phone number, you don't own them. You're renting them. So we need to get away from that and start making value our thing that we're offering and real people, the people that we're offering it to. I have heard so many stories about people, we just lost our X channel and we hate X and we think Twitter or whatever they're calling it this week is stupid. And we're bitter. But that wasn't all that serious of a thing to us. We have other ways to reach people. But I've heard lots of people say, whoops, I lost all my customers in one fell swoop. YouTube is a big example. You make one mistake or you don't even make a mistake and somebody is out to get you and does a copyright strike that's not valid and you lose your monetization and you lose your subscribers, and it's not your fault, and it's because you're renting your customer base. And so we need to get away from that, and that's what I really mean at the heart of backdoor marketing. So in my case, what building a community means like is sort of trying to build a flywheel. And by flywheel, I mean you do one thing that will sort of resonate with the other thing, and hopefully they start to play with each other. And so for me, that looks like my series, the Startup Foundations series of books. Just a quick plug that the Startup Self-Check is on Amazon right now, so go look it up. And Amazon wants you to rent your customers. So if you don't type exactly the Startup Self-Check, you won't find the book. You have to be exact or look it up on Google. Because all these platforms are just doing everything to get you to not do what I'm telling you to do, which is know your customer. Anyway, so my flywheel is the books and the social piece, like YouTube and the the Frenzied Founder podcast, and then my product, my software, the BuildRunKit. So it's going to be a year or maybe a 2-year long play, but all of these things, are things that my community needs and wants, and that community is going to find me, and I will make sure of it. So maybe like me this year, you'll move away from a product first approach in your business and start to move towards value first. And so what that means is that we're actually on socials, we're looking for problems in Reddit posts and Facebook posts. And it's a whole different way than we're used to. The human premium is so important right now. AI can't build a community or have a heart. It can't be the Frenzied Founder. Though, if you've ever seen Julian Goldie's channel, he used to be just an SEO guru, and now he tries to teach. He teaches people about how to leverage AI, and that worries me a little because he has an AI avatar that's doing all his videos now, and it's pretty good. Like, it's pretty realistic. I don't think I'll be doing that. I just want to be here, messy hair, and all what's left of it. So my final call to action is to come see me next Sunday at 10 a.m. talking about I don't know what yet. I haven't pulled together the episode for next week. But backdoor marketing, talk about it, share my video, like, subscribe, comment, and all of that. And I appreciate your time, and I hope to see you soon.